start game 2. We'll have to see what happens here, but we're kicking it off strong on Kieran's side. Lugia V, this time around in the starting position versus that Weird Ear V, and we're straight into the deck already with the Nest Ball. Hopefully the prize cards aren't too bad for each of our players.
And take a look at this. Ryan wants to go second in this matchup, gives the opportunity to Kieran to go first, which could be an issue for Lugia. Sometimes you don't have that opening supporter, and you run into some issues. You're relying on that Squawkabilly sometimes to get the ball rolling. These prize cards are pretty indicative of that. This is a difficult turn to get rolling. Thankfully has the Nest Ball, but it might not be much else from this turn.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. 2 Professor's Research in there. The Squawkabilly EX, that's a one-of copy for Kieran. Had the Nest Ball, but can't come out, stuck in the prizes there. So gonna struggle a bit here to be able to accelerate through the deck with some discards. But, you know, that's not hopefully going to be too much of a downfall for Kieran, depending on the rest of the hand. But we'll have to take a look and see what it's looking like. Ooh, double Nest Ball. Not bad.
Yep, and have that opportunity to establish Minccino, but looks like Ultra Ball and then not much else. The Professor's Research for the following turn, so
nice.
You feel comfortable with this Lugia and the Gift.
Yeah, see, I feel like that's super chill. You got the Gift energy down. You know, if anything crazy happens,
something crazy might happen.
To draw into some cards. No way.
Yep.
What's the setup on this side? I mean, Squawkabilly EX and active.
This is spicy right here. The Nest Ball top deck pretty much unlocked this as one of those potential pop-off turns. There's a Cypher Maniac code breaking in hand. Squawkabilly already in play. You could put the perfect cards on the top of your deck at this point. If you search out a Pokemon like that Pikachu, maybe you draw right into the Area 0 and the Trolley and see all your friends.
The friends get to come out. Oh, I would love to see that. Now it's just going to come down to sequencing. Is Ryan Shore able to put these pieces together? We see the prize cards here for Ryan. 3 of the Regis stuck in the prizes. Of course, we do have the Hisuian Heavy Ball for Ryan in the list, and is going to search out Pikachu EX first thing with this Nest Ball. That's the Pokemon that unlocks that Stadium card to expand the bench in the future. So we'll have to see here. Earthen Vessel.
The Earthen Vessel is the extra piece that you need too, because you throw away that Lightning Energy. You can search out the other 2 energy you need for the Pikachu, and then you load right back up. This is a turn 1 attack, so long as the Squawkabilly can be moved from the active.
That's true. And that's a 1 piece we're missing here. But, I mean, we're going to have some extra draw thanks to that Squawkabilly's Squawk and Seize. So Ryan Shore is having a much better time in this game, too, so far. Here we go. Cypher Maniac's code breaking. It's breaking the codes for sure, because you get to search out any 2 cards from your deck. They don't go to your hand, but they go on top of your deck. But then, when you have ways to reach the top of your deck with, so, I don't know, maybe some discard, some draw, then you get into those cards. And you saw right there, exactly as you predicted, Kyle, you know exactly what cards Ryan Shore is going for here.
He's broken this code probably a few times to get to this point. 3-0 and knew when to scoop in that last game. This is the perfect setup. You have the ability to draw into so many valuable resources. The only hope here, you need to feed an energy card, a switch cards, probably not some basic Pokemon when you draw these 4 additional cards, because you know what the other 2 will be. This looks like it could be a fantastic opener. And look at that, even going to use the energy to retreat, then has the ability to bring them back even cleaner here.
Squawk and Seize, those cards going into the discard pile here, but this is a fresh 6, including that Area 0 Underdepths and the Precious Trolley and the A-Spec card Ryan already secured at the top of the deck. So we see that Underdepths come out. The bench is extended now up to 8 Pokemon Ryan Shore is able to put down. And when you're piecing together the Regi gang, that is a great time to have. Look at these Regis. Well, what are we missing now? The Regidrago and
Regigigas himself.
That's him. Right there, not anymore. It's coming out here. Precious Trolley, another one of the reasons that this deck is so good. You search for any amount of basic Pokemon that you want to put out there. So you extend your bench to up to 8, and then you bring out the whole game.
Yeah, and what, your opponent could then discard the Stadium on the following turn. You throw away a Squawkabilly and some other Pokemon that aren't very helpful to you. This is exactly where you want to be.
As long as you get those energy out and you have some recovery after that, you are cruising. We see the Trekking Shoes into the Cypher Maniac's code breaking. Ryan Shore is going to take that straight into the hand here off the Trekking Shoes. Pikachu EX coming up into the active position. And now we see, thanks to that Regigigas, we are able to accelerate these energy, all of the different colors needed to power up the Pikachu EX here in the active.
Turn 1 knockout, exactly how Ryan predicted it would go when you give your opponent the ability to go first in this matchup. This looks so strong. Think about where he was in game number 1 compared to game 2 here. Yes, there's some ability for Kieran to play back, counter the Stadium, and attack into the Pikachu. How do you knock out Pikachu with this deck? You don't have a way around Resolute Heart.
Yeah, you don't, and that's quite sad. It's only 200 HP, but it hangs on there with the Resolute Heart ability. You know, if you knock it out when it's at its full HP, it survives by just 10 HP hanging on there. So that's awkward here for Kieran. What's even more awkward, like you said, Kyle, being behind now 2 prize cards against this fully loaded board on Ryan's side, and you just have a little Minccino. You got the Luminian to try to save the day here now for Kieran. At least we're going to have this Archeops come out, but how do you work off the back foot here if you're Kieran, Kyle?
I think for Kieran, it's a battle of resources at this point. If you could limit your opponent's ability to reestablish that Area 0 Underdepths, then you can leave them in a spot where they have 5 bench Pokemon and that Pikachu EX. It doesn't have the full 6 Regis to work with, and then you don't have that energy acceleration. So if you see some combination of attacking plus Iono plus removal of the Stadium, Kieran probably feels comfortable knowing that, all right, maybe I'll be around for another turn or 2.
We need to see some disruption here. Look at this.
Soften it up.
I love it. The Luminion being powered up here with this energy. Of course, that Minccino retreating out of the active position. Now we just have that Luminion fully powered. That's 3 energy. Aqua return. It jumps back into the deck with all those energy that are attached. Get that that damage down onto the Pikachu EX here. And then the little Minccino back into the active. But we're hanging on, and we are surviving throughout this match over on Kieran's side.
It's a dangerous spot. you have to attack into this Pikachu. You're not taking any prize cards, but you're getting closer to this point in the game where maybe you can work in that Iono. Limit your opponent's ability to come back in the spot and take multitudes of prizes all at once. It's ugly, it's gritty, but it could work.
It could work, and that's why we're sticking in the round here. Of course, Kieran did take a really fast first game, so we have some time here. Ryan, on the other hand, what are you seeing, Kyle?
There's a penny in hand. He's got the penny.
Oh, no.
It just completely ruins the turn here from Kieran. He had so much play there to soften this Pokemon up. Instead, it's right back. And look at this. This is such a creative way to limit your bench. You pick up your Terra Pokemon, get rid of the bad guys, and you're just left with a bunch of fun dudes.
Yeah, that's crazy, because usually it's your opponent manipulating that stadium, either bumping it out of the way. But Ryan here taking the Terra Pokemon out of play. That means we have to go back down to a regular-sized bench, a regular-sized amount of Pokemon up to 5 here. So now we have a full bench, and that Regidrago in the active position here from Ryan.
And this is a spot where you feel great about this. You don't need a Terra Pokemon in play. You can attack with Pokemon like this Regidrago. You have that special energy there to help out in instances like this where you awkwardly need a fire energy. It works out here, and Giant Fangs can handle the Minccino.
Yeah, that is really cool. 160 damage on that Giant Fangs from that Regidrago. Not the hits that Kieran was thinking he was going to be taking today from a Regidrago, but Giant Fangs, it's a Dragon Pokemon. It's coming out here swinging, taking an additional prize card there for Ryan Shore. Only 3 left to take now from Ryan's side, thanks to that Lugia V knockout, and now this additional Minccino. So Kieran's even more on the back foot, and now that damaged Pikachu EX is gone. It's been wiped away. It's only single prize Pokemon that are out left in the field for Kieran to have to clean up here. But how do you fight against this?
Kieran's thinking about everything. Took a look at the Regieleki, trying to think, oh, is this going to be a electromagnetic sonar kind of deck? Are you going to bring the penny back and make me work through this Pikachu over and over again? Is there a targeted bolt I need to consider if I am benching into this with another Minccino? It's not a great spot to be in if you're Kieran. Yes, you have knockout lined up with this Lugia into the Regidrago, but you're not taking advantage of an opportunity where you take away the stadium and remove Pokemon. Your opponent did it for themselves, and it worked out very well.
It did work out extremely well here. Archeops, of course, Primal Turboing twice here in the turn for Kieran to get out the special energy from the deck onto the field, just recharging up this little Minccino that's on the bench here from Kieran. Second Minccino, I should say. One was wiped away, sadly.
Poor guy.
Poor little buddy. We're just trying to get in some sushi rolls here, Kyle. Can't get there. Iono, that's going to help out a little bit here. Disruption is what we need to see from Kieran to try and slow down Ryan Shore. And as you saw, Ryan had a pretty large hand there. So Iono's going to help out a little bit here. 3 cards to the hand, thanks to that many prize cards remaining on Ryan's side. Kieran, on the other hand, is going to get quite a few more. 6 prize cards remaining. That's a fresh hand. And we're going to be able to bump that stadium out of the way thanks to that Lugia V-Star Tempest Dive. Taking the knockout here. That's a prize card down. Stadium is out of the way. Throwing out the disruption and hoping that Ryan can't recover.
Yeah, and this is exactly what you're looking for if you're Kieran. You finally have this opportunity to slow your opponent down. And look at this. There's not enough cards to incorporate Pikachu in combination with this board, so you don't exactly have your greatest attacker here in this spot. It's going to be the Regieleki probably using electromagnetic sonar to find something to help his hand, which is not going.
Well, that's brutal, yeah. That is brutal. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I guess this is kind of
it's just remove Minccino?
Yeah, I mean, the Luminous and the Lightning Energy are put on there. That's allowing for the targeted bolt here. 120 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Minccino being wiped off the field here. What is up with that? The Minccinos can't survive.
just ignoring the inevitability of your hand going nowhere. Take this knockout here. Yes, you're down to 2 prize cards. I understand that point of it, but afterwards, your opponent could knock out this Regieleki. Now you need to find another Regieleki.
More pieces.
Probably a stadium. Establish that Pikachu, and you have nothing to work with here.
It could get quite awkward here, but it's going to be the boss's orders now to bring up this Regigigas. That is going to take 1 step away, but Ryan does have the Nest Ball in the hand as well as an Ultra Ball there to get some other Pokemon out.
Well, it won't be another Regigigas, as we've seen one discarded after the stadium, the bump with the Terra Pokemon there.
Oh, so what had to have been a Night Stretcher. Get that baby back out.
Well, this is what it's all about for Kieran. You know that you're on the back foot in a matchup like this, but you can give yourself an advantage by starting to remove some of these Pokemon and targeting down specifically on keys like that Regigigas.
It looks like there's some debate there for Kieran of what energy to put down onto the Lugia V-Star, but that Legacy Energy is going to be the pick there. What do you think the thought process was there, Kyle?
It's too clean. Like, you want to have an opportunity to maybe squeak in some of these unique attackers that you have with the Legacy Energy, giving you that additional help, but this is a spot where you could now preserve this Pokemon and avoid giving up an additional prize. This top deck, though, finding the Area 0 here. You have the Pikachu in hand. You're promoting the Regidrago into the active spot to draw additional resources. You have Ultra Ball too. You can burn this whole hand and draw a fresh 4. There's chances here for Ryan.
There actually is. That was an absolutely wild top deck. I was looking around like, what was the card? Oh, it's the Underdepths. It's out here now. We are back to a big bench here for Ryan. It's going to start with the Ultra Ball here, though, to discard a Pikachu EX as well as the Nest Ball, but to bring out that secondary Pikachu EX here. So once that Terra Pokemon is down, then we're going to have some extra room to play with here on Ryan's side.
Well, Night Stretcher would be fantastic to find here. You already have the Switch Cart to help out, but finding that Regigigas is going to be pretty important now.
Well, we have this, thinking that it's an attack. It's an ability here, using the coin here to signify that. It's going to be that Ultra Ball, another Nest Ball. Wow, it's like a duplicate hand almost, except we also have that research. Yeah,
the Switch Cart into the Pikachu. You're going to full send at this point. You feel comfortable just getting all these cards out there. Might as well use the Nest Ball and search out another Pokemon to thin down and give yourself opportunities. This is the last hurrah.
Yes, the deck is already looking pretty thin here. We're a couple turns into this game here, but Ryan just has 2 prize cards left to secure. If we can just hold on a little bit more here, the Night Stretcher is what we need to see from Ryan to be able to get that Regigigas back onto the field.
it chooses not to go for a Pokemon like that Regice or Regirock.
Shuffling up, I guess?
I feel like you probably should just take that out of the deck and give yourself maximum odds to find the Stretcher.
Let's see. Yep, there it is. The third card drawn off his Professor's Research. That's going to be the Stretcher that we need to secure that Regigigas. The last missing piece now. The board is extended. We have the ability to get all these Regis down as long as we had that Night Stretcher. That's going to bring this Regigigas that's powering up this Topaz Bolt on the Pikachu EX. All of these energy being accelerated back onto the field here. It is so cool to watch the Regigigas deck come back into action. I mean, years later here now from Ryan Shore, and still working thanks to that Pikachu EX from Surging Sparks.
This is straight out of a movie, right?
Yeah.
It just took the help of Pikachu to establish all the brothers again and take big knockouts and remove
Pikachu and its
Lugia.
resolute heart.
Topaz Bolt!
Hey, Topaz Bolt, that is a bolt that Lugia V-Star does not want to see because it's out of the sky now. It's in the discard pile, unfortunately. And Ryan Shore not taking 2 prize cards thanks to that Legacy Energy. Very big note there. That's why the game's not over currently. Just 1 prize card, but that's 1 more prize card away from winning here as Kieran Farah is sitting at 4 left to take. 2 Archeops out, and that is it from Kieran Farah's side. Of course, take a look at the discard pile to see the resources used, to see if there's any other way Kieran has a way out to win this match.
You want to remove that stadium, make your opponent choose one of these Regi Pokemon to discard, and then hopefully lock this Pokemon in play. You can attack the Pikachu very slowly. It doesn't matter if you can remove them from play in a few turns because they don't have the energy acceleration if all 6 Regi Pokemon are not in play.
And it could get real awkward from there because then what do you really got?
Yeah.
You just got a bunch of Pokemon sitting out.
Is this just arrow dive to remove stadium? It's kind of good.
Yeah, it actually is kind of coming in clutch here for Kieran, if that's what we're going to see here. Both of these Archeops have Primal Turboed. We have that energy in hand, which we do here. Oh, no.
Big piece is the Iono. Thankfully had that. Ryan had it all. There was an additional Area 0 to go along with that. Maybe would have found a way to get that Regi Pokemon back in play. And now it's just left with a singular Water Energy.
Oh, my gosh. That is so grim to see. I mean, we haven't really been able to showcase the power of Iono in so long because this format has so many support Pokemon for that recovery from any disruption. But this is why you see why that card is so powerful in matchups that don't have those recovery Pokemon to just get you out of those difficult hands. Now you're working with major disruption here, just 1 card to the hands here. Now Kieran's also bumping this Underdepths from out of play, so Ryan has to reestablish this regular old bench. And let's see what it is. Night Stretcher.
Okay.
Something.
It's not the worst. It's obviously a piece that you want to have go along with this, but the energy is so important. I was curious whether this was going to be Dragon's Horde or the Electromagnetic Sonar to find a supporter you want. Now it's finding 3 random cards. They're okay. Iono's not great right here.
No, not for you. Well, Checking Shoes can get us somewhere else.
Oh,
Research.
wow.
That's a little better here. Not necessarily, I mean, kind of a top deck, I guess. Trekking Shoes top deck. We're running.
He almost doesn't want it. I think you have to take this.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a little bit dangerous not to, but Ryan Shore honestly is just playing on the edge in general, playing this deck.
Oh, reckless endangerment, but that's how you have to play Regigigas.
That is very true.
There's considerations for what cards are left. There may be another switch card, so you can full send at this spot, but you're going to lose the ability of that Night Stretcher to establish a Pokemon. Maybe Super Rod, Nest Ball shenanigans get you there. But there are resources to close out, but it has to be a crazy 7.
Crazy, crazy 7. Well, we'll see if that's what we're going to see. We're going into the deck right now with the Earthen Vessel. We have the deck in Ryan's hand. We have the discard pile in Kieran's hand.
They look pretty similar.
They do. But we're getting these 2 energy with the Metal Energy as well as the Lightning Energy from Ryan's side with that Earthen Vessel. We have the Night Stretcher still in the hand as well as that Professor's Research. But that research is going to be what is going to tell us the outcome of what's going to happen here for Ryan Shore.
I'm not sure if I saw a way to get a Pokemon back. It might just have to be the Regirock itself. But at least it's not the Regigigas, which has been a real issue with having to reestablish that Pokemon over and over again. So there's opportunities now to find those resources.
Yeah, this is what's, okay. Identifying what energy was grabbed. Yeah, Ryan was also looking through the deck to see, do I have the combos needed to be able to get out of this?
Area 0, Regirock, and a Switch Cart get you there. Nest Ball to find the Regirock would do the same. 7 cards to do just that.
Let's see. This is the research 7 cards here.
Oh,
There's a Switch Cart.
And the Nest Ball. Just missing the stadium now. 3 more cards.
Oh my gosh.
1 last.
No, we had the 2 pieces right in the first top 2 cards, but there's no stadium to be able to expand the bench here for Ryan to get that last Regi needed down in the Regirock to be able to accelerate that energy. Looks like
you don't love the use of the Switch Card, but you have to at this point. Give yourself an additional resource. But look how devastating this would be if once more your opponent had an Iono. You've used all of your resources this time around to try to close out the game. If they put you on a 1-card hand again, there's almost no way out of this.
Well, Ryan is hoping that we don't see any more disruption.
Can I keep this one?
Yeah, please. It's not on the board right now. It is being taken out with that electromagnetic sonar, so it's in the hand. We just have to hope it stays there for Ryan. But I mean, at least you know, maybe it'd be the top deck. You know, if you get Iono'd into 1 again, maybe it's what you.
There's ways to see some more cards. Maybe the Cypher Maniac into the Regidrago, but then you have to switch again.
Yeah, it's a lot of pieces.
It's complicated, and for Kieran, I think that was the last of the Ionos. Only 2 copies in this list, so you know what you're up against. What can you do?
Look at that, though. Capturing Aroma, hitting a heads here with that to be able to search out that evolution Pokemon in the Lugia V-Star. So that's pretty nice here for Kieran.
I wonder if maybe a different route is possible. Boss's orders knock out the Pikachu. You've seen your opponent discard one of the Pikachu before, so then maybe you're not worried about a 1-hit knockout in a spot like this.
Yeah, at this point, you're just trying to bide your time here. I mean, Kieran's hand is also relatively slim. At least we had that V-Star thanks to the Capturing Aroma. The boss's orders was in hand.
Regigigas does the same thing in this spot. You've already seen your opponent use plenty of resources like the Night Stretchers. This is the second Regigigas falling. Is there a way to get this Pokemon back?
Yeah.
I didn't see it last time that we looked through the deck, but maybe there's another resource.
Because we had to throw away the Night Stretcher with the research before for Ryan.
You're right, and there's, what, I think it's 3 copies of the Stretcher and then maybe 1 Super Rod to go along with this, so if it's in the deck, there's an opportunity here.
Yeah, we'll have to see what we can piece together here. Kieran down to just 3 prize cards now after the knockout on that Regigigas. Ryan Shore, Cypher Maniacs, Code Breaking. Do we have the cards that are in the deck? This is the deck here.
And if you don't have them, it's not game over either. They're not there, but you have an opportunity once more with the Regieleki. But do you have to go for Super Rod because you need a Regieleki and a Regigigas? And then you have to draw them all again.
Exactly. It is living on the edge here for Ryan Shore. I mean, it just seems like every turn that passes, we get one step further away, and Ryan has to put more of these pieces together.
Just let me win.
Exactly. I'm so close. I just have 1 prize card. This is the most brutal position to be in as a Pokemon player. You're sitting at 1 prize card left to take. You just got to take a single knockout here, and Ryan is just slightly short of that. But we're going to see another electromagnetic radar or sonar here for Ryan to get out a trainer card. And you said it, Kyle. Super Rod it is.
Yeah, you have the opportunity now if your opponent just has the knockout. They haven't shown the resources to target again, but another boss's orders could throw a wrench into that too. I don't know if you want to give your opponent another opportunity to use electromagnetic sonar. They've been finding a lot of good resources slowly but surely.
Exactly. Yeah, over time we've been getting there. Capturing Aroma hitting a Tails this time. That's going to lead us to a basic Pokemon, but Luminous Sign on the ability of that Lumineon V is going to get us a supporter card. So pretty cool combo to see there from that Capturing Aroma. We're going to see another boss's orders come out. Kieran is trying to throw as many roadblocks in Ryan's way as physically possible.
I'm wondering if there's some shenanigans to slow this game down to a snail's pace. Even a boss's orders with like a Wellspring to lock up Regirock.
Oh my gosh.
Something where you could deck your opponent out and avoid this altogether.
Yo, that would be wild. I mean, maybe not the most climactic ending, but definitely a cool one.
You
cool
have plenty of resources. Your opponent's shown that they've used so many Switch cards too. There might be an avenue there, but you also are, what, 1 or 2 turns away from closing out just by attacking and taking the 6 prize cards.
Yeah. Well, Mesagoza is going to get us another Lumineon V out of the deck here just to put straight into the hands. We saw the attachment there onto that Archeops. Boss's order is going to bring up this Pikachu EX. This time around, it's got some damage on it. And, of course, bumping the stadium as well with the Tempest Dive. 220 damage there from Kieran.
All right, so with the Pikachu knockout, the math's thrown off a little bit more. Now the Super Rod has to Nest Ball first and find it. I thought that he did this weird. He put the stadium on the top instead of the research, and he now drew the stadium.
Whoa, whoa.
I think he wanted to draw the Professor's research.
Well, they just put it in the wrong order?
Yeah, he put the cards on top in the wrong order. Because now he has 2 stadiums again. That's not what you needed.
I'm not going to lie, Kyle, I've done that before.
Well, hopefully not with stakes like this, Boo. Because this is not great.
It was not. We were talking kitchen table stakes there. So this is
Think about this,
a lot higher stakes.
You're now using the Super Rod, shuffling the deck. You don't have the research on top.
No.
You can maybe thin down and draw with Dragon's Horde, but then you'd have to find the card again.
It was already so risky, and now it's gone even riskier. And look at this. Ryan is just taking a look at, like, what is, like, how do I
was going to win.
What happens? Oh, no, just a slight missequencing there. I mean, it is, sometimes you could just be like, oh, which one was the bottom? Which one was the top?
I'll just see them all next turn. No, you're not. And this is a devastating spot to see this because, yes, you have your stadium and you can play down some of these Pokemon, but, I mean, where are you supposed to go from here?
Yeah, look, I mean, you see it all over Ryan's face and the actions here. It definitely got real awkward. We're seeing that Super Rod being played now. Now we're going to have to see the shuffle. I mean, the deck is quite thin here, but Ryan would have been able to have the discard into what was needed, and now we're risking it once again for Ryan.
We'll see if fate is on his side. I mean, you could play the hand down. You could thin all the way down, play all these cards back in, Nest Ball, search for the Pikachu, throw down every resource you have, and maybe draw back into the research or the perfect cards with Dragon's Horde.
Gosh, well, it's genuinely coming down to this. We've taken this game all the way to single prize cards on both sides of the field here. Ryan using this Nest Ball, bringing out this Pikachu EX. The Area 0 Underdepths is already out now here for Ryan, and we're just still working through this hand. Earthen Vessel.
Once again, this is a slight issue too. You're throwing away a Regice. You could have played that Pokemon down on the board, and you'd still have space for your other Pokemon.
Yeah.
So now you're holding on to another Area 0 that you don't need in hand. This is one less card that you won't see off the Dragon's Horde. I think you have to full send in a spot like this.
Oh
Clearly,
my gosh, you do. Absolutely do. This is between a win and a loss at this point here for Ryan Shore.
Could play the full hand down, just looking for a way to find that Regigigas. Instead, has that
melting my brain.
You should be able to play the hand down to 3 and hold the switch card. Instead, now it's just 2 cards.
Yep.
Are these 2 cards going to be enough? Can't switch card yet. You have to draw first.
Oh yeah, this is really tough here for Ryan.
Oh boy.
Use this Dragon's Horde. It's just 2 cards here for Ryan.
He finds the research. It's back.
It is back. That Dragon's Horde, thanks to the Regidrago, getting 2 cards. One of them is that Professor's Research to be able to discard the hand there within the energy and the Underdepths here for Ryan, drawing into the rest of the deck.
What a way to sneak in some drama for us. He finds a way to get the cards right back in place and to load up his Pikachu for a final knockout. Why not throw an extra energy on there to get us to game 3?
Oh my goodness, Kyle. Topaz Bolts winning Ryan Shore this game by the skin of his teeth here. I mean, it went all the way down to single prize cards. Kieran Farr was going to take the game there if Ryan